Hello students, welcome to English class. Today we will discuss the topic conditional clauses. I think it's a familiar topic for you, but we will discuss this topic and we will clarify our doubts regarding this topic, conditional clauses. Okay, so we know that in certain sentences we use conditional clauses. And why do we use conditional clauses in sentences? So in certain sentences we will mention two actions, and if we use a conditional clause, that is to show that for the fulfillment of one action, the second one is a condition. That means if that second action doesn't take place, the other action also won't take place, that also won't fulfill. That's why we say that it's a conditional clause. Then we have to come to it in detail. So do you know how many types of conditional clauses do we commonly use? Yes, there are three types of conditional clauses to express three different ideas. So the first type, for convenience we call it type 1 conditional clause, which is also called likely condition. Likely condition means something that is really possible to happen. It is something really possible, but there also, for the fulfillment of the action mentioned, there is another condition, another action mentioned as a condition. For example, if you consider the sentence, if he studies well, he will pass the examination. Or we can say it other way also, he will pass the examination if he studies well. It is an example for type 1 conditional clause. So what's the idea behind it? Okay, so the action that will really happen is the person will pass the examination or the person will get good marks in the examination, but for that there is a condition, that is this one, the person studies well. So for passing the examination or for getting good result, there is a condition, the person studies well, the condition for the fulfillment of this action. Then when we come to the details of this, you can see that in such sentences there will be two clauses are there, which will be called if clause and main clause. And one thing you have to keep in mind is that it is possible to begin the sentence either with the main clause or with the if clause. Okay, that means here I have begun the sentence with main clause, that is he will pass the examination if he studies well. But it is also possible to begin the sentence with the if clause. That means I can say if he studies well, he will pass the examination. Okay, then if you look, you can see two clauses are there. Two clauses, main clause and if clause. So what's an if clause? That simply means the clause that begins with if. The clause that begins with if is called if clause. Then while we use this word if, that is to show the condition. This is the condition. The clause that begins with if shows the condition, and that condition is the fulfillment of the other action mentioned. Clear? So then what you have to do is you have to look at the verb used in both the clauses. See, here the if clause is studies. That means the first form of the verb is used. And the main clause here is will pass. The verb used, the tense used is will pass. That means will plus V1 form, and we know that it is simple future. So this is the combination in type 1 conditional clause. You have to keep in mind the combination of the verbs used. So if clause will be in simple present, that means it will be V1 form of the verb, or V1 plus S or es, because we know that in the case of third person singulars, he, she and it, we use with the first form of the verb S or es form. For example, I go, but if it is he goes. They study, but she studies. Okay, only in third person singulars we use S or es form. So in type 1 conditional clause, if clause will be in simple present, that means the verb will be V1 form or V1 plus S or es form, and the main clause will be simple future. But at the same time, it is also possible to use can or may also. Okay, now mainly we use simple future, will or shall plus V1, but it is possible to use can and may also. Okay, then this sentence shows that this is something really possible in the case of this particular person mentioned, because he has the capacity, he has the capability of scoring good marks or passing the exam. So it is not something impossible, it is something really possible, it is something really likely to happen. Okay, then when do we use type 2 conditional clause, or what's the meaning of this clause, or why we use a sentence in type 2 conditional clause? So if he studied well, he would pass the examination, or he would pass the examination if he studied well. Here also it is possible to begin either with the main clause or with the if clause. Then what's the difference, or when do we use type 2 conditional clause? So we learned that for the fulfillment of this action, this one is the condition. That means if this action doesn't take place, this also won't take place, this also won't happen. And then when we use if he studied well, what's the meaning? We have learned that while we use V2 form of the verb, that is to show a completed action. That's a real grammatical rule regarding tense. But while we use simple past tense or V2 form of the verb in if clause, that is not to show a completed action. More than that, this is to show our doubt. We doubt whether this action will take place. We have a doubt because this particular person we have mentioned is a little lazy. He has the capacity, he can easily score good marks, but he is very lazy. He won't even open the textbook, and we have a doubt whether he will study. And in order to express our doubt, we use this V2 form here. If he studied well, that means we are really doubtful whether this person will study, and if this action doesn't take place, this also won't take place. So this is to show our doubt regarding the fulfillment of this action. And how do we express our doubt? That is using type 2 conditional clause. So this studied, even though we use simple past tense, you have to understand that as we use it in if clauses, it is not real past, and there is a term, grammatical term used for that, that is conjunctive past. Don't be bothered of these terms that are conjunctive past. That means it is not real past. In this context, it is to show our doubt regarding the fulfillment of this action, and this is the condition for the taking place for the fulfillment of this action. So if this action doesn't take place, this also won't take place. So in order to show our doubt, we use this type 2 conditional clause, that is unlikely conditional clause. Then there is a third type of conditional clause which we call impossible condition. I think while you listen to the term impossible condition, you can assume the meaning. It is something that is not at all possible. And when do we say that something is impossible? I think only after something is over. If something is over, it is impossible. Till then, we can say that okay, it is possible, try, it is possible. But if something is over, there is no meaning to tell about it because it is already over. There is no meaning if you think of past actions or something that happened in the past. So there is a proverb that we commonly use related to that. That is, don't cry over spilt milk. Don't cry over spilt milk. That means there is no meaning if you cry over the things that have already happened. So impossible condition, that means this we can use only after the completion of everything. And as we doubted in the case of this particular person, the person really didn't study, so he failed in the examination. Only afterwards, after the result, we can say what? If he had studied well, he would have passed the examination. If he had studied well, he would have passed the examination, or he would have passed the examination if he had studied well. So what does it mean? If he had studied well means he didn't study, and as he didn't study, what happened? He didn't pass the examination. So this is completely over, or it is past, so it becomes impossible. Okay, and then how do we express this impossible condition? And that also is regarding regarding this verb combination. If we have to show that it is something impossible or it is an impossible condition, this if clause should be in past perfect. That means had plus V3 form of the verb, that is past perfect. You have already learned in tenses. And the main clause will be would have plus V3. Would have plus V3. And one thing you have to keep in mind in all this context is that, see, instead of would we can use should, could, or might. Okay, so whatever it is, that modal auxiliary plus have plus V3 form of the verb is used in type 3 conditional clause with regarding the main clause. If clause will be in past. So these are the three types of conditional clauses: likely, unlikely, and impossible. Likely, to show that something is really possible, so the clause will be in simple present, main clause simple future. The type 2 conditional clause or unlikely conditional clause is used to show our doubt regarding the fulfillment of the action, of both the actions we can say. So the if clause will be in simple past tense, the main clause will be would plus V1. And the type 3 conditional clause, which is called impossible condition, while something is over, then the if clause will be past perfect and the main clause will be would have plus V3. So if you learn these verb combinations, that's enough. Understood? So there is no other verb combination possible. If it is simple present, you should use simple future. You cannot use here simple present and here would plus. You cannot say that if he studies well, he would pass the examination. It's wrong. If he studies well, he will pass the examination. Understood? So this verb combination, three verb combinations you have to learn in type 1, type 2 and type 3 conditional clauses. And that's the only thing I think you have to keep in mind regarding this conditional clauses. Okay, I have given certain examples here for type 1, type 2, type 3 conditional clauses. Type 1 here, see, if you drop the plate, it will break. Okay, if you don't take medicine, you won't get well. You will be healthy if you do exercise. Type 2, if it rained, you would get wet. I would go with him if he came. If he asked, I would help him. Type 2. The type 3, if he had asked, I would have helped him. Then she would have reached earlier if she had come with me. Okay, so and now what you have to do is write down certain sentences in type 1, type 2 and type 3 conditional clauses. And I think you have to learn this verb combinations. You have to learn it by heart. There is nothing else you can do. If you learn these three verb combinations, that's enough. So I think it's a very simple topic, without any difficulty you can easily understand this topic, conditional clauses. Hope that all of you will do it. Okay, thank you. We will stop for today.